What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG back at it today, and I just want to address some of the haters and the naysayers out there. All right, now I'm just going to present to you how dumb I believe these people really are. All right, these particular people, they'll look at photos like this, they'll look at hieroglyphics like these, and they'll make the argument and the assessment that the greatest architects of all time, the greatest astronomers of all time, the greatest alchemists of all time just decided to get up one day from their sleep and just say, hey, you know what? I think it'd be a good idea to carve pictures of humans with animal heads. I think it would be just the perfect idea just to get up one day and put in all this work to carve into stone pictures of people with animal heads, with animal-like heads. You see what I'm saying? Just randomly out of the blue. We're just going to do that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? The greatest architects, the greatest astronomers, the greatest alchemists of all time just decided to get up one day and say, shit, we just feel like, drawing pictures of people with animal heads. Wow. What do you know? We just feel like mummifying a dead body for 40 to 70 days for no reason. For no reason. No reason whatsoever. We built the fucking pyramids across the world. We created electromagnetic vortexes known as stargates. We figured out astronomical alignments, and we mapped out the whole fucking universe and the whole galaxy. We mastered dark alchemy. And we're able to preserve the soul in certain objects, and we're able to open up stargates so the soul can be transported to a different dimension. See what I'm saying? We're able to do that, but you know what I'm saying? We just magically, randomly decided to wake up one day and to carve in hieroglyphics people with animal heads for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who thinks like that is a fucking retard. And, I hate to put it that way because, the haters are going to continue with the diss videos. But guess what? They'll never be able to forensically, scientifically, biologically, or archaeologically disprove me. They'll never be able to disprove me biologically, archaeologically, forensically, etymologically. They'll never be able to disprove me by using those methods. It's always going to be opinion, 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 opinion. All right? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I challenge anybody, anyone, to try to disprove this information. See, I don't even have the time of day to give any of you clowns any shine. So this is my challenge. This is my challenge for anybody who wants to disprove this. Go make a fucking YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? You love to to make videos about me anyway. Go make YouTube videos about me, but this time I want you to disprove this information forensically, biologically, archaeologically, or etymologically. Let's see if you can do it. All right? Because I'm here to tell you the greatest architects, astronomers, and alchemists of all time depicted certain gods with animal heads because the ancient Egyptians, along with many other ancient cultures, had a great understanding of genetic splicing. All right? The ancient Egyptians had great knowledge and fully understood the practice of genetic splicing. They know that life got here on Earth, and intelligent life got on other worlds as well through gene splicing, genetic splicing. All right? Right? So we got plenty of movies talking about, you know, a race of reptilian beings that are controlling things on the surface of the Earth. One of which is the movie known as Jupiter Ascending. I decoded Jupiter Ascending on my Patreon account. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. All right. So right here, you know, this is the reality that we are living today. You know, the human race is actually enslaved through a monetary system, and the beings who created the monetary system are not human. They're not fucking human. All right? The monetary system has completely divided humanity and has caused humanity to work against one another. The monetary system has caused us to lose all of our human morals. The monetary system has caused us to chop down trees and to destroy the fucking ecosystem and to destroy nature. You see what I'm saying? Somebody that is from this world is not going to implement a system that's going to destroy the same fucking world that they're from. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So the movies have it right. There is a group of reptilian humanoids and insectoid humanoids that occupy inner Earth. All right? All right? And for everyone who thinks the reptilians, you know, all that information is pseudo, I want to let you know that in ancient Kemet, there was a god known as Sobek. Okay? Research the god Sobek. All right? So, see, the mainstream Egyptologists want us to believe that Sobek was the Egyptian god of creation and the Nile. You see what I'm saying? And he was just some regular creator god. That's bullshit, folks. The creator gods in Kemet were Ptah, Neith, and Ra. All right? Those are your three creator gods in ancient Kemet: Ptah, Neith, and Ra. All right. This right here, Sobek, was the Egyptians' depiction of the ruler over the Draconians. Sobek was the Kemetic depiction of the ruler over the Draconians, the Alpha Draconans. The beings, the reptilian beings from Alpha Draconis, this is how the ancient Egyptians depicted their ruler, known as Sobek. All right? And then somebody told me on Instagram that there is actually an energy drink or some kind of fruit drink called Sobe, and it has reptiles on the logo. You see? So that's how they, that's how they get down with their symbolism. The owners of these multi-billion-dollar corporations, most of them are part of secret fraternities and secret societies, and they know this particular information. All right? That's why they have to put it in their movies. That's why they have to put it in their TV series. That's why they have to put it in their cartoons. That's why they have to put it in their video games, because that is the real reality. And the reality that they gave us on the surface of the earth, that's the real falsehood. That's the real bullshit. All right? All right, so right here, anybody calling this pseudo, all you got to do is look at the god Sobek in ancient Kemet. All right? Right here, we got reptilian draconian statues in Babylon, which would be Sumeria. All right, in the Middle East, where these statues were found. All right, right here. So, but this one in particular is going to be the absolute nail in the coffin. This is a statue. This is a statue of a reptilian humanoid-like being in Peru. All right, and the ancient Peruvians, all right, which were the Inca, the Inca knew of beings known as the Morop, Go research the Morop. Ladies and gentlemen, this shit is so deep, the Morop don't even have a Wikipedia. Wikipedia and Google don't even want to go over the Morop. So you actually have to go on Pinterest to go to the origin of this poster. All right, because this statue in Peru is very real, and the ancient Peruvians' knowledge of the Morop is very real. All right, go research who the Morop really are. All right, the Morop were iguana-faced. They were iguana-faced beings that lived in inner earth. All right, they lived underground. And they ruled over all of the humans on the earth by bribing the leaders of humanity. They bribed the leaders of humanity with advanced artificial technology that would cause them to live longer and give them the illusion of godhood. You see? So these Morop gave our leaders the illusion of immortality with advanced artificial technology, and the leaders of humanity, they basically enslave the rest of the humans with that artificial technology, because it was the artificial technology that humans were given that stopped us from tapping into our organic technology. Our organic technology is our brain, hearts, all right, the chakra system to our body, our auras, our ability to perform telepathy, our ability to perform telekinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, geokinesis, electrokinesis, aerokinesis. All of those are forms of organic technology that we were able to tap into. All right, when these beings, when these draconians and insectoids introduced that artificial technology, the more we used that artificial technology, the more we lost our organic powers, our organic abilities. All right, so this is what the Morop were about. The Morop also, kidnapped certain humans and tortured them, sacrificed them, and ate them. All right, this is still what goes on today. And if you think that's bullshit, all right, if you think that's bullshit, look at the number of missing children in the United States every year. 800,000 every year. All right, so everybody calling this pseudo, you got a lot of explaining to do. All right, and this is on the other side of the world, as opposed to Egypt. Egypt is in the Eastern Hemisphere. Peru is in the Western Hemisphere. So you're going to have to explain to me how two ancient cultures who supposedly knew nothing about each other, how they were talking about and depicting the same goddamn shit. All right? Because you got reptilian statues in Sumeria. You got Sobek in ancient Kemet. All right, you also have a Kemetic god with the head of a cobra in Kemet. You also have the Nagas in East India and in Asia. You know what I'm saying? So once again, everybody who's claiming this pseudo, you got some explaining to do. What you need to explain is why our ancestors would wake up one fucking day and just magically decide to put all this fucking work in to create this goddamn statue of this reptilian humanoid, if the reptilian humanoid didn't exist, if they never saw or if they never communicated with this being. Why the fuck would they make a statue of it? Why would they spend so much work, time, and effort into making this statue? Why not only did the Peruvians do this, but the Egyptians and the Sumerians and the East Indians and the Asians? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on, pseudoites. You know, everybody who wants to use that word, you know, that particular word pseudo is used by people who are too fucking dumb and too much of a non-innovative thinker to understand this information. See, people who are afraid and scared of accepting this information as truth, people who are maybe just too unenlightened and unintelligent to grasp the concept. You know what I'm saying? That's what that word pseudo is about. The fucking word pseudo doesn't exist off of this information alone. Anything the human mind can conceive is a fucking reality. Because guess what? Every invention in this earth had to have started out as a thought before it manifested into reality. Therefore, anything our minds can perceive is a fucking reality. Okay? Okay? And that's where you get into genetic splicing. So everybody calling this shit pseudo, man, you're looking mighty dumb right about now. And these Morop, which are iguana-faced beings, they kind of remind me of the Skeksis in the movie, the TV series known as Dark Crystal. If you want to see Dark Crystal decoded, you can just subscribe to the Patreon account. You know, I decoded that a while ago. All right. Now, here's what the naysayers are going to say. They're going to say, oh, well, the statues of Jesus, you know, certain ancestors built statues of Jesus. And, you know, you're saying that Jesus didn't exist. They built statues of Jesus, but Jesus didn't exist. Well, guess what? Before 1600, those Jesus statues weren't called Jesus. All right. The letter J didn't exist before 1600. So the Greeks were calling the Jesus figure Lysus, all right, which is Zeus, which is Serapis. And the Serapis statue was originally Ptolemy the First Soter. So our ancestors, our ancestors made statues of Jesus, and the biblical story of the Jesus man, that doesn't exist. You're right. That doesn't exist. But as far as the image and the statue, that goes back to a man known as Ptolemy the First Soter, who was the first Greek ruler of Egypt. All right. So basically, your Egyptian, all of your Jesus statues, they go back to Ptolemy the First Soter. So if you really want to get technical, folks, I don't believe that our ancestors made statues of any goddamn thing that they didn't see for themselves. Okay? All right? And, you know, Jesus is really Zeus, which is Amun, the Kemetic god Amun. All right? I've done many videos on that. Amun is responsible for summoning the Nordics into this world. Amun is responsible for summoning the Nordics into this world. The Nordics are the forefathers of the Caucasian race. When the Nordics came into this earth through the interdimensional realm, the Nordics were outnumbered by the melanated beings on the earth. So Amun and other Kemetic gods started a genetic splicing program, and they spliced the Nordic DNA with other animal DNA to increase the population of Caucasians on the earth. They also did this to create other so-called races. All right. And, you know, this also goes into the gargoyles. The gargoyle statues, you see, in many of these many of these old Catholic churches in Europe and in some parts of, you know, the States in the Far East, you see statues of gargoyles. Now, like I said, if you weren't worshiping, if Christianity was not the worship of Saturn, Kronos, Father Time, Why the fuck would you have statues of fucking gargoyles on the corners of the churches? Come on now. Come on now. If the Eucharist in Christianity wasn't about human sacrifice and cannibalism, and Jesus dying on a cross wasn't about human sacrifice and cannibalism, why the fuck do you have gargoyles on the corners of your churches? You know what I'm saying? Because these are the deities over your goddamn religions. These are the deities that want humanity to continue to give their life force and their energy to beings outside of themselves. These are the deities that want humanity to keep giving their life force to beings outside of themselves. This is why in ancient Kemet, we built statues of ourselves. We worshipped ourselves. You see? You see? All right? We built statues of ourselves. Okay? And so when the European conquerors, when the European invaders invaded these lands, they said, oh my God, you know, these people are vain. These people are vain, you know. These people are all about themselves and all about their own treasures. And, you know, this is blasphemy. This is heresy. That's what the Christians said in their crusades, you see. But aren't they fucking hypocrites? Because in their own good book, it says that they worship a jealous God. It says in the Bible that, you know, the God over humanity supposedly is a jealous God. You see? But all of these religious leaders called indigenous people vain and egotistical for building giant monuments and statues of themselves. They're egotistical for mummification, for mummifying their dead. Because after, you know, you leave your body, there's absolutely no connection to the material realm anymore. You see what I'm saying? Which is complete bullshit. Because if you came into this, if it took 9 months for your soul to come into this material realm, let me break down some dark alchemy for you goddamn religious buffoons. When you study dark alchemy, the soul, it takes the soul 9 months before it can fully transition into the material realm. So when your soul transcends out of your physical vessel, your body, all right, after you die, it takes anywhere from 40 to 70 days to fully transition over to the other realm, over to the 5th dimension. Okay? It takes 40 to 70 days, and this is why the mummification process took that long. All right? All right, and that's okay, because I'm going to be breaking that down in the next video. All right? But I'm just showing you guys how stupid and how calcified and how moronic these naysayers are, and these people claiming this information is pseudo. I'm just showing you how dumb they are, you know, because nothing they say makes sense. See, the people who are claiming this shit is pseudo, they're going to regurgitate and reiterate the same bullshit that comes out of Darwinists, the Darwinist theory, the evolutionary theory. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna spew out a religious doctrine. They're gonna spew out some of that flat earth bullshit that's already been busted up on this channel on numerous occasions. You see what I'm saying? You know, they can't fuck with the information. They can't. You know, so the only thing in their pea brain that they can think of to label this, oh, it's pseudo, it's pseudo. So our ancestors just decided, you know, to carve these hieroglyphics for no reason, and then the ancient Inca just decided to create giant statues of the Morop for no reason. You see, and our ancient ancestors or the beings who created the first churches just decided to create these statues of gargoyles for no reason. No. You know what I'm saying? You think 800,000 children in this country go missing yearly for no reason? No. It's because they're being kidnapped and fed to these fucking draconian beings. This is why they come out with movies like Jeepers Creepers. This is why that movie Jupiter Ascending was all about the goddamn draconian bloodlines. All right? And there's countless others. Video games, TV shows, movies, cartoons that depict the same message and the same reality. And I go over all of that shit on the Patreon. And this right here are more nails in the coffin. You got hypertrichosis. You got cutaneous horns. Now, I've shown many videos and different pictures of cutaneous horns, but this one right here takes the cake. All right, of certain people who were genetically grafted with animals that had horns. All right, so you got this picture of this man, and then you got this multiple pictures of this other Asian man with giant horns. All right, being emitted from their craniums. Right? How do you explain that? How does your science explain that? Everybody who wants to jump on the mainstream science bandwagon and wants to jump on the Caucasoid science and wants to promote the same information as Charles Darwin, go right on ahead and try to debunk this. How the fuck can you call this a genetic defect when it's not supposed to be in the human genome to produce a horn? It's not supposed to be in the human genome to produce an animal horn. According to the mainstream scientists, humans don't have the same genetics as animals with horns. So if that's the fucking case, how are certain humans growing animal horns? And this isn't just one or a group of 3 to 5 people. No. No, you need to do your fucking diligent research. All right? Because there are people all over the world with this anomaly, with this so-called genetic defect. All right? And it ain't no goddamn defect at all. They're just picking up a genetic trait that was put into their genetics through gene splicing, because one of their ancestors, all right, was a splice between an animal and a human. And that genetic code, that genetic trait picked up in one of the offspring. All right? That's how that works. That's how that works. Right here, we got the real Groot. You guys have watched the Avengers, right? And I've shown this in previous videos that I did on this channel. This particular individual right here, his name is Didi Kaswara of Indonesia. And this guy picked up one of the genetic traits from the original humans on the earth, one of the originals, all right, which is a cross between human and plant, the cross between animal and plant, the cross between human and plant. All right, he literally has bark. He literally has tree bark being emitted from his body. All right, and this is where they get the idea for Groot in movies like the Avengers. All right, so we got that as evidence. We got the Vodoma tribe. We got the Vodoma tribe in Africa, and they are all everybody in the tribe is born with ostrich feet. It's not just 1 or 3 people. It's not just 50 to 100 people. No, it's the whole fucking tribe. Everybody with the genetic code to be a part of the Vodoma tribe, they all are born with ostrich feet. That means that somewhere down the line, their ancestor was a splice between an ostrich and a human. All right, and that's where you delve into certain Anunnaki and certain blue avians, you know, your blue avians who are also shown in ancient Sumeria. All right. And then right here, we have a group of Caucasians that are born with their legs bending the opposite way. All right. Bending damn near the same way as a canine. All right. Because there are a group of Caucasians that have genetic relations and a portion of their DNA that is canine, that is dog. All right. All right. And there are many depictions of this. Many. There's an entire village, all right, of people in Eurasia and in Europe still walking on all fours. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Anybody calling this information pseudo has a calcified pineal gland. And I don't give a fuck what their skin shade is. I don't care what their skin shade is. Because guess what? You can have all the neuromelanin in the world. You can have all the eumelanin in the world. Guess what? If you don't activate it and tap into it, it's as good as dead. All right? Neuromelanin is something that has to be activated. Plain and simple. So, with all that being said, that's really all I had to say, man. You know, we have been shown over and over and over again that the ancestors told us our true reality and the true history. And all the bullshit that we've been given by mainstream science, mainstream biology, and Darwinism is 100% bullshit. Life did not get here through evolution. It was populated through genetic splicing, and humanity fell from godhood to animal state. We're not going from animal to human to God state. We fell from God state. We fell from God state to human state, and some people fell to animal state. And the goal is to rise back from that human state back to the God state. All right. So my next lecture is going to be delving in the process of mummification and getting my slides together for that information. If you want to see videos of me decoding certain movies, TV shows, cartoons, and video games on your request, just subscribe to the Patreon account. The link is in the description. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One, man. I'm out.